If you look at Scotland, I mean, the Scottish want to break away. The Scots want to break away right now because they want to be in the European Union. They see the benefit. But unfortunately, the people, not Londoners, I mean, Londoners, majority of them voted to be a part of the European Union, but outside of the capital, there's a lot of people who are not very educated, a lot of people who listen to the media, who read right-wing news, and that's all they believe. They never question, they just follow like sheep. That's it.
Okay, let's talk specifically about the internal situation of UK. If I'm not wrong, United Kingdom is comprised of, or it is basically, when we say United Kingdom, it means England, Scotland, Wales, and some part of Northern Ireland. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So how these four parts of UK see each other? I mean, what's their relationship between Wales and Scottish and English and Northern Irish? They're happy? Is it everything good?
Essentially, yeah. But the Scottish people aren't happy. The Welsh, they're very quiet people. They never complain, and pretty much we tend to ignore them quite a lot of times as well. The Irish are fine, the Irish are absolutely fine. It's the Scottish people. They don't feel a part of the United Kingdom. They never have. And you can see the current situation with Nicola Sturgeon. Nicola Sturgeon is forever threatening the very existence of the United Kingdom. Nicola wants to break away. Nicola does not want anything to do with it, and the Scottish people feel that everything that affects the Scottish people, these rules are made in the capital, in London, in Parliament, and they don't have a say, which is true to a certain extent, and that's where democracy fails, when we don't have a fair representation of the country. And unfortunately, that's what's happening in Scotland.
So, yeah. What do you think that in the future, if the same situation has been continued, they can say they can call for another referendum if the things are not being settled down by the politicians?
Of course. I see another referendum coming. That's quite likely. And in terms of the people, it's just going to get worse. We leave the European Union, and then Scotland's going to threaten us even more. And I don't see us actually having much cooperation with the Scottish people straight after we leave. In order for us to leave, there's an article, I think it's Article 51, that needs to be invoked. And right now, there's a lot of umming and ahhing as to, can we do it? How long will it take? But give it a year, possibly give it a year. Once we're out of the European Union, that's when the Scottish people will start screaming and shouting. And to be honest, I won't be surprised if these people go out there and cause riots and protests, because that's exactly what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit amazed. We're taught that United Kingdom and America and these countries are one of the beautiful example of democracy. If you want a perfect democracy, if you want to see a perfect democracy, look at them. But what you're telling me, that people of England, particularly England, is not giving the just right of Scotland and Wales, and they're not distributing their shares, equally. So, I mean, this is not an example of democracy. I mean, this is not good.
Absolutely. I mean, democracy is for the people, by the people, of the people, right? So, politicians are meant to be servants. They are public servants. Politicians are not higher people. They are public servants. They're there to do a job. Unfortunately, they're not doing it, and they've not been doing it for a long time. If you look at Tony Blair, when Tony Blair was running this country, what was going on? The idiot went to war. He took us to war into Iraq, despite millions of people taking to the streets of the capital and protesting and marching against the war. They still went to war. So, these politicians have never actually listened to us, and they're not listening right now. So in regards to a good example of a democracy, we don't live in a democracy. I don't feel like we're living in a democracy. It's more of a dictatorship, but it's hidden.
Yeah, it's kind of hidden. Do you blame the Scottish and Walish politicians too, because they're not that good to promote the problems of their people, or are they corrupt? I mean, they're not distributing their things.
Yeah. So in terms of the Scottish people, and yeah, Scottish people do have obviously a voice. Now, it's not just the Scottish people. The Welsh people also have a voice. They have the Welsh Assembly. Unfortunately, they're not listened to. What happens in Parliament, whatever the Scots would say, whatever the Welsh would say, it doesn't really matter. I mean, my time growing up, to be honest, I've never ever come across a situation where we've asked for the Scottish opinion or the Welsh opinion or the Irish opinion. It's mainly been driven in our parliament. So I do feel sorry for them. As I said, the Welsh people will not break away because they're very passive. They go with the flow. But the Scottish people, they're very loud. I'd say that Scottish people are more like the Pathans of Pakistan. Whenever they want something done, they'll do it done and they'll get it done. And that's what the Scottish people are, in nature. So, yeah, going forward, I think we'll have to say goodbye to Scotland.
I hope that that's not the case, but anyhow. Lastly, if you look at the propaganda created by the Indian media, that apparently Pakistan is the only country in this world who is facing problem of the separatist movements. But the question remains, is it true? Of course it's not. Why? Because the whole world can have the same problem. Everywhere in the world, if a part of community thinks that they are not receiving their just and entitled share, they raise their voice against it, and hence the freedom movements. Currently, in almost every country who is big in terms of population is facing the same problem. The separatist voices can be heard, including USA, India, UK, Russia, China, and etc. So let's be very clear on one thing, that having separatist voices in a country doesn't mean that it's a sign of its poverty, low GDP, or weak security situation, but it rather means that wherever a group of people or communities start to live together, they can have differences. Those deprived communities start to protest and demand certain things like, give us our rights, we want our share. If you want us, then you have to treat us equally like others. We won't tolerate any kind of discrimination, or sometimes in the worst cases they demand freedom. Now, to sum up, Pakistan is not the only country where we can find separatist voices. It's present everywhere, my friends. Hence, my Indian brothers and sisters, don't accept the lies of your media, and please do some research about it, including in your country, and you'll reach to a true and just conclusion. Thanks for watching, and please do comment to express your views and opinions about the video. If you like it, then please share it with others also. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to contact me. Stay blessed, my friends. See you in the next one. Peace.